You might say that it's the glue that's the issue, because if you look at the glue on the IHS, it's just like 9 points or whatever, right? 3, 6, 8 points, 8 points, right? So obviously there's not a lot of glue holding it down. I literally just built this and I don't want to flip it on. I wouldn't worry about it, man. And stick around for the stream and I'll go over some voltages and I'll explain why. Even though you bought AMD, you don't have to find out like everybody else, because you got me on your side, man. I find out for you. Just an aside for a second, I keep seeing all these posts on Twitter where people are like, times are tough, my views are down, my subscribers are down, can't pay my rent and all this shit. I'm just like, god damn, I'm not having any of these issues. Like, I see people's misery online. I'm just so fucking grateful all the time, dude. Even just like my view counts, right? I have 25,000 subscribers, but I average 10, 11, 12,000 views per video, which is unheard of. Like, the subscriber to viewer ratio is unheard of, right? I'm doing very well. So just thank God for you guys, man. And I'm just like, I wake up every morning, I'm like, damn. Whatever we did here in this community, we did it right, man. We really did. I mean, man, I don't know. People don't believe me when I say if you buy AMD, you're gonna find out. Now, it's crazy that you know what the crazy thing about buying AMD and finding out is? The ratio of people having problems is so fucking high, but I don't know why you don't see that anywhere on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like people don't have a place to go and let people know that it's dog shit. Because if you go on the AMD Reddit or whatever, they're just gonna ban you for saying that something sucks, because they're all a bunch of fanboys over there. So it's kind of like the old sense quality shit where people don't have a place, maybe in my comment section, but they don't have a place where they can just go and tell people how bad things are out there. I bought AMD and found out, never again. I'm telling you, people, even, dude, oh god, it's so funny, man. It's like my entire channel is dedicated to shit that just works. You know what? I need to change my slogan. Instead of it being like, helping you compete, it should just be like, helping you not buy shit that doesn't work. Literally, that's what my entire channel now. It's just don't buy shit that doesn't work, right? Or that doesn't just work, I should say. And yet, like, so fucking Dan's been following me for God knows how long, almost a year. Yeah, sorry, not Dan. Quay, call me Quay. You've been following me for a while, man. And you're like, no, I follow this Joofus guy, but I'm still gonna fuck around and find out on my own, which is good. It's good. Like, you never trust a YouTuber, but man, every time somebody's like, I'm gonna test it for myself, every time they're like, fuck, that Joofus guy was right. Every time, dude. It's like clockwork at this point, because I test everything myself. And that's how you know right away online when you're talking to somebody. You're like, I know you haven't tested it, because everybody that tests shit themselves all come to the same conclusions, man. Everybody, dude. Even Jay's 2 cents, he like, I wish I bought an Intel system. He couldn't even turn the fucking thing on, dude. It doesn't work. You don't have to have an overclock though on the Zen chips, because they run with insane fucking voltages out of the box, dude. Don't you guys remember? Out of box, non 3D equals like 1.45 volt, 95C in spec. You remember that whole shit? And everyone forgets that shit. You don't have to overclock these fucking chips, man. they'll literally just run at 95 Celsius. Or was it 90? I don't remember now. And then AMD was like, intended to run at 95 Celsius. Yeah, that's just coming back to roost, isn't it? And then 3D, I think it does like 1.15 volt max. 85C max. I want to say something, or 80. I can't remember now what the max temperature is, right? So this one should be safer, you think, but you know, when you actually enable Expo, it's gonna pull an extra 20 watts from the IO die. No, see, that's the other thing, Ace. It might be worse on the new node, because if they used a denser node, the heat would be more dense. That's what I mean. Because this issue never happened on Zen 3 when they used 7 nanometer or whatever. Or no, it was a 12 nanometer node. Yeah, that shit never happened. We didn't have a single report of this. It's because they shrunk the node. That's what's fucking it up now, right? That's why when they shrunk the node on Zen 4, the thing runs so goddamn hot. And you even delid the damn thing and it still runs that fucking hot, right? I'm afraid to turn on the AMD platform now. Update BIOS if you're really worried. Because what did Asus say? Limited to 1.3 SoC. It's fine. On new BIOSes. Right? On old BIOSes, you can just go into your BIOS and you can just enable it manually, man. Just do VDDIO 1.3 and SoC 1. If you put those to it and then VDDP, just put it at like 1.1. Just put those 3 in there. That should get you to 6,000 and not have any issues. Like, just like punch that shit in. If you want to hold on to an older BIOS for some reason. So if you want to hold on to a lower BIOS and you want to not risk fucking around and finding out, just punch these 3 in and you should be okay. I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm not some engineer, but the voltages that I run seem to be fine and they're way higher than this, right? So now, you know what's interesting about this whole thing? Delidding your Ryzen CPU is actually the way to go now if you want longevity out of that shit. Dude, so the footage here is me turning it for the first time. That was a full virgin clip, dude. Look at this. Wait, watch this. 4 CPUs before, but not this, right? So watch this. Hesitant is the word. Look, there's still a gap here. Oh, it's moving very easily. No pressure. Very easily. Huh. Okay. If you go and you watch my old Intel ones, the fucking Allen key is flexing. Look at how much force I'm cranking on that shit. Now, you might also say it's the glue, Joofus. No, this one, I cut all the glue first with a razor blade all the way around. So the tension on this is still chiplets, the 3950X, right? So the tension on this one, is all solder on those chiplets, right? And I also delidded 2 of these ones, and they were both soft as fuck. Right? Check this out. That's it. I literally just felt it move like a bit. I'm done. I'm taking it out. Look at that. Look how much force that is. Look at my guns. Look at my forearm. Dude, look at my old jacked forearm. How much pressure I'm putting on that shit. Look at that shit. I had to do a double. That's it. Or you know what? Maybe AMD is just using a thinner layer. Like there's 2 ways you can actually go about that, right? There's the tin content in the solder that makes it softer, or it could just be a thinner layer. Like this one is AMD and this one is Intel. Could just be that. And that's why this one is so much harder to rip off than the AMD one. I don't actually have exact measurements of the solder itself, right? It could just be that, simple as that. That's probably what it honestly is. Probably just using a thinner layer. They probably have to use, and then the problem with using a thinner layer is easier to melt too, right? The thicker it is, the harder it is to melt. I believe if you go watch, Derbauer did a video, or Derbauer interviewed an Intel engineer, I believe. And he talked about that. He's like, why don't you go thinner on the solder? And he's like, reliability. Intel values reliability above everything else. So if the gamer has to suffer by 5 more Celsius, but they have full reliability, they're going to go that route, right? That was a good video too. People need to find out on their own all the time, man. It's like, I'm gonna buy AMD this one time. It only takes once. That's the other fucked up thing. Anyone that buys AMD once, they find out. It's not like these people are loyal enthusiasts where they buy. It's like, did you buy RDNA 1? You found out. Did you buy RDNA 2? You found out. Did you buy RDNA 3? You found out. Zen 1, Zen 3. 5800X3D was pretty good. That's like the only one. Okay, everything except 5800X3D, okay? Did you buy Zen 4? You found out. Doesn't matter what AMD product you buy, you're gonna find out. Fermi was not great. Yeah, but that's one generation out of all the other ones that just worked, right? Like we were saying, it doesn't matter what AMD generation or product you buy, you're gonna find out. It's like if you go look at the Nvidia track record, it's like one product in the last 15 years that didn't work. That's a good track record. And Fermi was kind of a clusterfuck, but overall, man, you know, again, I'm not making this shit up, dude. There's a reason why Nvidia has like 95% market share. Being a hardware enthusiast, you don't see what the masses are doing. Like, you don't see it because you're in the tech space. All you see is AMD fanboys everywhere because they're the lowest common denominator, right? So you just see AMD fanboys everywhere, but in reality, AMD doesn't even exist in the GPU market. They don't exist, man. Like 10% market share? They don't even have graphics cards. Put it that way. They don't exist, man. How come we haven't heard of this in the server space? So it would have to be Expo, wouldn't it? Because servers don't run Expo, they run JDEC. You know what I'm saying? From AMD's, so here's the other question. Do you think there is any actual lasting brand damage? Or does nothing bad ever happen? So if you were in AMD's shoes, for example, I would say their graphics card division really has to fucking step up because they're against Nvidia on that one. They're never going to get anywhere with that shit. But let's say you're AMD, right? And you're like, we can hire a whole bunch of staff to QA this for us and use it in their daily systems, or just release the fucking product like game developers do and just wait for feedback like an open beta. Just open beta. And then let's say they had a 0.1% failure rate of these chips bulging. They saved money not hiring people to find that out. Just let the user figure it out. And what do we know about users? Easier to get scammed than convince they've been scammed. Now, so that goes even deeper, right? My entire community are people that bought AMD and found out, right? Those now what's the percentage of those people that actually joined the community because they found out? Very enlightened individuals that realized they got scammed. What about the other 90% of people that watch my content on YouTube and they're just like in denial about it and they're like, fuck this guy, that they rage view, right? You bought the product and somewhere the reason why you're angry at me is because you know you got scammed. You know, You know you found out, but it's easier to lash out, right? So what incentive? It's not like the lowest common denominator of AMD fanboy are gonna evolve and call AMD out on shit. They're just gonna go back in denial and defend their purchase, like we've already discussed before, right? So yeah, if I was AMD, I wouldn't fucking do that shit either, man. Hell no. Like, I'll just fucking release it and let them figure it out. Oh, we had look at this, like, release 7900 XTX. Liquid in heat pipe doesn't work vertical or horizontal or whatever the hell Der Bauer found with the coolers. Doesn't work stock. It's like let the fucking people figure that shit out. Didn't QA it, right? And then it's like release Ryzen bulge, the Ryzen bulge. Let's coin that term, the Ryzen bulge. It's like we could QA this or just let them figure it out. It's an ongoing trend with this fucking company, man. I'm telling you. MVP, minimum viable product. It's a market strategy. That's 100%. Minimum. Well, look at the 700 XTX in general. This is the definition of minimum viable product, man. It doesn't work. They rushed this out like fucking crazy, dude. The cooler didn't work. The drivers didn't work. The power consumption didn't work. It doesn't scale. It doesn't work. Like, the front end clock is different than the shader clock and all this crazy shit, dude. Minimum viable product. Absolutely, man. If all these companies were perfect, I wouldn't have any content, would I? I'd actually have to be creative.